So there was a rumor that came out not that long ago stating that the iPhone 15s could actually be one of those devices that may not last as long as maybe the predecessors before, aka the iPhone 14s, iPhone 13s. Those iPhones are probably going to have a longer period of time in terms of how long they're going to last comparatively to something like the iPhone 15s. And the thing that we've been seeing here, and basically the reason why we've been seeing this, is mostly because of the iPhone 15's potential, future. So it really just comes down to Apple Intelligence and how Apple, plans on kind of contributing and kind of keeping those iPhones, kind of up to date in the future. So something like the iPhone 15, the thing to keep in mind with this particular phone is that this is one of those devices that did not get Apple Intelligence. So this kind of gives us an issue and somewhat of a problem within this particular device, because if you're going to go through and pick up an iPhone like this that's not going to be giving you Apple Intelligence in that type of feature, that's going to put this phone in a very, very tough spot, because if it's not getting that big massive feature, well, that's going to really affect this particular phone in terms of the futurability of it. So that's number one. Number two, another very big thing keeping in mind here too is the fact that within this particular iPhone, if it is giving you the same chipset as basically like an iPhone 14 Pro, and it's going to be more similar to something like an iPhone 14 and 13, well then the fact that the 14 and 13 have the same chipset means that the 15 may even last as long as something like a 14, which may last as long as something like an iPhone 13. Now, I don't think that's going to end up happening. I think there's a very slim chance that'll end up happening. But because of the lack of Apple Intelligence, with the lack of all these other things, this kind of puts us in a tough spot with something like the iPhone, 15, because if it doesn't end up lasting as long as that other device, well, that's going to make this a really, really hard sell for the future as well. On top of that, another big thing to keep in mind here too with these devices is the fact that with something like the iPhone 15, this type of device really is going to be kind of putting you in this spot where it's really going to be behind the iPhone 16. If the 16 ends up getting the A17 chip, if it ends up giving you, a RAM increase, and if the iPhone 15 ends up giving you pretty much the same type of experience as something like an iPhone, 16, I could see there being some issues and some conflicts, because the iPhone 16, like I said, if it's not that big of an upgrade, the 15 has a very high likelihood of not being one of those devices that's going to last as long as the iPhone 16. It could probably, in terms of number of years, not last as long as the iPhone 16, and maybe not even the iPhone 14. It could ending around the same time as the iPhone 14. So I guess we'll see what happens. We'll just keep an eye on what ends up happening in the future. But in terms of that kind of covers it up here for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.